Fantastic play here from Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho at his very best.
Fast feet, fast mind, fantastic finish.
Ronaldinho, golazo!
You are watching one of the all-time greats at the peak of his powers.
Ronaldinho was simply different. The street ball style, the dance celebration, there was just something joyful about Dinho. You couldn't help but smile when football's greatest entertainer took to the pitch. He brought street football to European stadiums in a way that no other player could. Ronaldinho was more than a footballer. He was an icon who inspired many to fall in love with the beautiful game. What's up guys, it's Futbolista24, and in this video we will look at what makes Ronaldinho stand out among football's greatest. If we classify Ronaldinho's game into a music genre, it will be hip-hop soul. The long hair, the goofy grin, the gesture that every kid wants to imitate, it was all a part of his brand. Many bring up his lifestyle as a detriment to his career, and rightly so, but they fail to realize that his playstyle was a reflection of his personality off the field. The way he lived was what allowed him to become Ronaldinho. His game style was smooth, upbeat, and freakishly mesmerizing. He might not have the best stats, he might not have the most trophies, and he might not have had the longest career during his prime, but Ronaldinho had that wow factor. He was one of those larger-than-life type of players. I mean, you have to be something special to bring fans of your biggest rival up on their feet, especially when it's fans of your arch rivals Real Madrid in their own house at the Santiago Bernabeu. But we'll come back to that in a minute. For those who watched this man in his prime years at Barcelona, this comes as no surprise. From commentators to spectators, everyone anticipated something special when the ball fell to Dinho, and he rarely disappointed. He brought the flicks and tricks of futsal into a football pitch. Growing up, football was a religion in his household, and his early years playing futsal helped him prosper when playing in tight spaces with rapid movements and improvisations. And we saw all these traits on the pitch: the no-look pass, the gliding through 1,000 defenders as if they were mannequins, the back pass, and I mean a literal back pass. These are just a few of the unforgettable things that Dinho displayed. Oh, and I almost forgot my all-time favorite skill move, the Elastico, which he didn't create but he made famous. At times, the man looked like an Olympic figure skater rather than a footballer, dazzling his way through the rink, ready to pull the next jaw-dropping move. Enough cannot be said about Ronaldinho's individual abilities with the ball. His dribbling ability is unquestionable. The way he zoomed past defenders effortlessly with the ball always at his feet was just unbelievable. He never dove and always remained on his feet, even with defenders jumping into challenges and kicking at his feet. And in some cases, the defenders would bounce off him and fall themselves. He put some of today's attackers to shame. Anyway, his touch was simply exquisite, and the way he struck the ball was true and pure. He was a natural finisher as well and found the back of the net regularly, with some goals being out of this world. His vision, passing, and playmaking ability was second to none. He always found a way to set his teammates up with golden opportunities with perfectly weighted passes and through balls. I'm sure y'all have seen this insane clip of Dinho playing back and forth passes with none other than the crossbar, which was impressively the first ever video to pass 1 million views on YouTube. Dinho did this regularly during warm-ups before a game, and if you ever doubted the legitimacy of this clip, Kevin Prince Boateng, a former teammate of Dinho during his time at Milan, has told stories of how Dinho would hit the crossbar 3 times in a row at training, just because he could. Boateng said, "We wondered how it was possible there could be so much talent in one body." And yes, Boateng, we are still wondering to this day.
To this day! to this day.
Through all these qualities and contributions, Dinho made Barcelona winners again, and even with the natural talent he possessed, he was never a selfish player. Former Barca striker Eder Johnson put it best when praising Dinho, saying, "When you play with him and see what he does with a ball, nothing surprises me anymore. One of these days, he will make the ball talk." At his peak, Ronaldinho played like a force of nature. Insane speed, superb technique, and outrageous moves that were at times disrespectful to the man standing in his way. But it doesn't just stop at skills. Due to his gregarious nature, many failed to realize Dinho's determination. It was determination that elevated him from the early struggles in the favela slums of Brazil to Europe's biggest stage. And it was determination that elevated him further to become a legend of the game who will never be forgotten. In a 2006 interview, the man himself said, "Everything has great importance in time in my life. But when I have the ball, it is my girlfriend, and I treat her accordingly, with gentleness." Talk about ball is life. Football truly was Dinho's paradise, and his love for the beautiful game was obvious every time he stepped on the pitch.
Now Ronaldinho. Oh, it's a terrific goal. Wonderful, wonderful goal. Absolutely breathtaking. Ronaldinho. Petr Cech never moved. The goalkeeper looks to the heavens. And at times you wonder if that is where Ronaldinho has been sent to Barcelona from.
Young football fans may not know, but before the Messi and Cristiano era, there was the Ronaldinho era, where the Brazilian reigned as the world's best. A much shorter reign, but a very exciting one while it lasted. Dinho must have heard that famous line out of the book, "You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain." Because although on paper he had a 20-year-long career that officially ended in 2018, the beast, the superhuman Ronaldinho that we witnessed retired at the Camp Nou when he left Barcelona in 2008, as we were never able to see the very best of him again, and he left us wishing for more. His next chapter at AC Milan was still great, but nothing compared to the love affair with the Catalan giants. Dinho's impact on Barca often goes underappreciated. One just needs a quick glance at Barcelona 3 seasons before his arrival versus 3 seasons after. Before signing Dinho from PSG, Barca finished 4th place twice and then 6th place respectively for 3 seasons. They had fallen into a tough spell while their rivals in the Spanish capital were enjoying success. Then came Dinho, and after helping Barca finish 2nd in his first season, he led them to back-to-back La Liga titles the following seasons. Dinho placed Barca back on the map and helped bring success back to the club. He helped them to 2 league titles, 2 Supercopas, and the grandest prize, the 2006 Champions League glory. After his move to Italy, he helped AC Milan compete with city rivals Inter, who at the time were kings of not just Italy, but of Europe, and he was able to help them win Serie A. His success with the national team is spectacular as well, leading Brazil to victory in the 1999 Copa America, 2005 Confederations Cup, and claiming football's greatest achievement with the World Cup in 2002. Messi and Cristiano have set new standards in terms of goal scoring, team success, and individual accolades. With the exception of these 2 phenomenos, Ronaldinho's career accomplishments are incredible. During the 2004-2005 season, Dinho was on top of the world, unlike anything the game had ever seen before. He was simply unstoppable with his performances for club and country, guiding Barca to the La Liga title and helping Brazil qualify for the next World Cup as he finished the season scooping up the Ballon d'Or after already claiming FIFA's World Player of the Year award for a 2nd time. Ronaldinho was a man of the big moments. While many players went missing in the biggest games, Ronaldinho thrived on the biggest stages. In fact, there were complaints during his first 2 years at his first European club, PSG, where there were reports of how he only showed up in the most important games and seemed to lack interest during practice or minor games.
But we talking about practice, man. What are we talking about? Practice? We're talking about practice, man. We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice. We ain't talking about the game. We're talking about practice, man.
Such is sometimes the curse of naturally gifted players who are well above and beyond the rest, that they lose interest or become overconfident to a fault. This is why Messi and Ronaldo's dominance for over a decade is so impressive. While Ronaldinho was great, he did not have the same level of commitment to his career as these two, so his peak did not last as long as it should have, which is why Dinho is still one of football's biggest what-ifs. But during those glory years, he gave us many memorable, magical moments in the yellow of Brazil and many more in his club career, particularly Barcelona. For Brazil, among the many great moments, we remember where it all started when he bagged his first goal in a remarkable manner to get the world's attention. There was also the time he captained and led the Brazilian team to lift the 2005 Confederations Cup. But his biggest international achievement was surely World Cup 2002, where Dinho was instrumental in leading Brazil to the final, particularly in the quarterfinal against a star-studded English side who were likely Brazil's toughest opposition during that World Cup run. Dinho assisted the equalizing goal before scoring a cheeky free kick that sealed the tie as the Selecao went on to win 2-1.
Picking up the far post position, those two. Oh, and Seaman's been beaten! It's a goal! It's Ronaldinho! Ronaldinho has made it 2-1 Brazil!
He was sent off in that game and returned for the final against Germany, where he had created two glorious chances for Ronaldo, who squandered them, but the Phenomenal more than made up for it by later bagging 2 goals to win it for Brazil. There were also his PSG days where he never failed to turn up in Ligue 1's biggest games, especially the late Classique derby between PSG and Marseille. We remember Dinho's Barcelona home debut, which was played at midnight, just to allow Dinho to fly out to Brazil afterwards for international duty. And those 80,000 plus fans at the Camp Nou that night were rewarded as Dinho received the ball from the goalkeeper, dribbled. Alright, hold up, we gotta watch that shit again. Just wow. Then there was the 2006 Champions League run. Haters will point out that Dinho was ineffective in the final against Arsenal, although he had a decent game. But what many don't know is his contribution throughout the campaign as the top assister in the competition and second leading goal scorer. He scored the goal that sealed the tie in the round of 16 against Mourinho's Chelsea with an amazing solo goal, and he did the same again versus Benfica in the quarterfinals. In the semi-final, he put in a magnificent individual display against favorites AC Milan that is forever engraved in our memory, while providing a beautiful assist for the 1 goal scored in that tie to lead Barca to the final. Dinho was ever present in the El Clasico fixtures against Madrid. His most recognizable El Clasico came in a 3-0 win in 2005, where Dinho brought Madrid's Galacticos to their knees in their own house in what many consider his best ever game for Barca. Casillas, Ramos, Roberto Carlos, Zidane, Beckham, Ronaldo Fenomeno, and others were all outclassed by Dinho, who scored 2 at the Bernabeu, admiring and applauding the magic they had just witnessed from the man in red and blue stripes. Every chance Ronaldinho got to humiliate defenders, he went for it, without any care for the name on the back of the jersey. Whether it's an average Joe or a big name player, Dinho made it happen on a regular basis. His list of victims include names like Sergio Ramos, Stevie G, Gattuso several times, Pirlo, Sergio Ramos again, Dunga, and many, many more. I bet Gattuso was relieved when Dinho decided to join him at Milan later.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
By the way, to the surprise of the entire world, Ronaldinho was omitted from Brazil's World Cup squad in 2010 that was managed by ex-player turned manager Dunga, who had been scarred by Ronaldinho as a player during their time in the Brazilian league. My theory is that Dunga's memories of Ronnie played a part in his omission from the World Cup team. Just playing. But point is, Dinho was ruthless when it came to embarrassing even the greatest players, especially when all eyes were on him. Ronaldinho allowed us to witness the beautiful game at its finest display. Dinho gets love unlike any other player, and there is a reason why fans regularly invaded the pitch to see their hero. He brought smiles for fans and allowed rising superstars to dare expressing themselves on the field. Because of him, we have players today like Neymar, whose game revolves around speedy dribbling and flair. He is one of the very few players who could go to any stadium and get applauded by the away team. He made Barca winners again. The Barcelona we know today is arguably the world's best, but that wasn't always the case, as they had some rough periods in the past few decades, and Ronaldinho was a key architect in the club's resurgence. He deserves recognition alongside names like Cruyff and Guardiola to have revolutionized the Catalan side to achieve the great heights that it has reached today. And don't underestimate this impact, as Dinho instilled in Barca players the will to win, and the winner mentality transferred over to the Spanish national team, who went on to dominate the world for 8 years with 2 Euro titles and a World Cup trophy. Another gift he left for Barca is through the support he provided a young Lionel Messi when he took him under his wing. This is not to say that Messi's success is due to Dinho, and Dinho himself will be the first to remind you that that was never the case. But he did play a big role in the early development of Leo. At a time Ronaldinho was considered the world's best player, he was helping a kid Messi, whom even Ronaldinho had predicted would go on to surpass him and become the best, to adjust to life in Barca's senior team, which was vital given Messi's shy personality. This was his bow-out gift to the game, playing a role in the making of arguably the greatest player alive. Who can forget Dinho's assist for Messi's first ever Barca goal? Ronaldinho arrived at a time where football needed some spark, something different, something special, and he left us with so many unforgettable memories. His 5 years at Barcelona are among the greatest periods in football history, but we can't help but wonder how much greater the legacy would have been had his reign lasted longer. There are of course many who consider Ronaldinho the GOAT today, like his former Barca teammate Deco, and when Dinho was in the mood, you may very well argue for it. The level of the best. Perhaps what he lacked was consistency. Perhaps he lacked consistency in being at his peak. For me, only Messi is above Ronaldinho because of the consistency of the last few years. Messi is the best in history, but Ronaldinho is with the best. The rest follow. This is strong praise from the legendary midfielder. I personally wouldn't go as far as saying Ronaldinho is the GOAT, but if I had a chance to watch any player, past or present, in their prime, live in person, it would have to be Ronaldinho, football's greatest ever entertainer, who made us smile every time he stepped on the pitch. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe so we can continue to bring great content for you all. And as always, until next time.